Hi friends, today we are filming a 12-hour reading vlog of me trying to catch up on my Goodreads goal. My Goodreads goal of 300. I am 27 books behind. I have about 25-ish manga volumes and graphic novels that I want to get through. I am going to do this in sets of 5, so I'm going to read 5, and then I'm going to update you, and then I'll go like that. The first 5 that I'm going to read is The Prince and the Dressmaker, which is about a woman or a girl who makes dresses, and then a prince comes in and he likes to wear dresses. I think they might have a romance. Eat and Love Yourself, which I adore this cover. I think it is about self-love, that kind of thing. We have Glory Days Volume 1, which I've heard fantastic things about. And then we have Pumpkinheads, which I'm hoping will get me into the fall mood, but I have heard it's mediocre. So we'll see how I like these 5, and I will come back to you with an update, and then we'll talk about the next 5 that I'm going to read. I am working from home today, so we will kind of be reading these in between me doing other things, but hopefully I can knock out all of these and get that Goodreads goal back on track, because my reading has been very spotty this year, and I want to get back on track. So let's get into it. I have read 4 graphic novels or comics. So I read Eat and Love Yourself. This is a graphic novel about a woman who is uncomfortable in her body, and she kind of has to go back into her mind, figure out why. And she does this via a chocolate bar that puts her back into her memories from childhood. And she has to come to terms with her self-sabotage, the things that she dealt with in childhood that made her feel that way, and just the things that she can do currently to make her life better every day. I ended up giving this 4 stars. The art is absolutely gorgeous, and I think the story really resonated with me, and I really liked it. I then read The Prince and the Dressmaker. This is about a seamstress who gets propositioned by the prince to make him dresses, but he doesn't tell anybody. Nobody in his life knows that he makes dresses, so he has her make the dresses. They go out and then they do things, and he's pretty well known as his alias around town, and then their relationship grows from there, and I ended up giving it 5 stars. It's so freaking cute, and I found it very, very heartwarming. As you can imagine, you're dealing with not being able to be yourself and the fear of people finding out and some prejudices and things like that, but overall I thought it was super cute. I read Glory Days, which is a graphic novel about 3 women who don't really know what they're doing with their life, and then they all end up meeting up together. And I didn't rate this, but I will not be continuing. I thought the art style was hideous in my opinion, and the writing was too small. And then lastly, I read Pumpkinheads. This is a very fall vibe story about 2 friends, one who has a crush on a girl that is working at the pumpkin patch with them, and they are on a mission to get him to where she is so that he can talk to her. And they just go through the pumpkin patch, the different parts of the pumpkin patch. They eat food, they do rides, things like that. And I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was cute, but it wasn't anything spectacular. It was very, 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 very flat. And I don't think that it was any thought was really put into the story itself, but the art was gorgeous. So I'm going to move on to the next books that I have to read. So I have Bloom Into You Volume 2. This is the story of a girl who meets another girl in school who tells her that she has a crush on her, but the main character doesn't really know if she likes women or even if anything about that. And then I have The Girl from the Sea, which just has a beautiful cover, but I think it might be about a mermaid and a girl on land. And then I have Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which I know is a sapphic something or other. And then I have Beast Boy, Teen Titans Beast Boy, which is just about Beast Boy. We will come back when I have finished those, and I will tell you how I feel about them. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna update after I read 5, but I just finished Bloom Into You Volume 2, and I'm very uncomfortable with the way that the love interest acts. She's incredibly pushy, and I don't really appreciate it. I feel like the main character keeps trying to set boundaries, and she just doesn't care about the boundaries. And I don't know if I'm like misunderstanding it or what, but it's pretty uncomfy, and I don't think I'm gonna be continuing. I felt kind of the same way in the first one, and I get like the series is her growing to love her, but I just am very uncomfortable with the love interest's actions in this, so I have no interest in continuing. I'm gonna continue reading other stuff, just not continuing that series. Time for another update. I finished The Girl from the Sea, and I gave it 3 stars. It was super cute, about this girl who meets like a mermaid or something like that, who is coming onto the land to save a reef, and then she like also has a romance with the main character who is not out yet, so is their whole thing. And then I also finished Teen Titans Beast Boy, which I gave 3 stars, kind of like with the Ravens. It's an interesting like quick little read about his origins. I read Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which I gave 2 stars. It is basically about this very toxic sapphic relationship, and at the end the girl, you know, learns to stand up for herself and break up with the toxic person. But I didn't like the art style, and all the characters were awful. I have a couple left. Let's look at the ones that I have left. Probably gonna take a break and come back because I'm kind of getting tired of them, even though I only have like 6 left. So I'm gonna get rid of 2 because I'm not really feeling them. So one I want to read is Wayward. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but it has cats, demonic cats on the cover. The Ancient Magus Bride, Volume 1. Sparrowhawk. I'm gonna read those and we'll be back. I might take a break between reading them just because I'm kind of like graphic noveled out, but those are next up. I also forgot that I have like 5 books on my Libby app that I have to read through Libby, and because I can only get Libby on my phone, I can't like read them off to you because I film on my phone, but I have to read them on my phone, which means that if I can't read them, then I can't read them. Something that is kind of annoying about some like graphic novels and stuff is if the writing is really small and I can't zoom in, then I can't read it. But if the graphic is really if it's really small and I can zoom in and can read it, it still like doesn't make for a good reading experience. So that's that on that. We will talk once I actually like have read them, but I have like 5 or 6 more aside from the list I just gave you of what I'm gonna read. So I'm here to close out the vlog because I read the last 4 or 5 things that I'm going to read. I will be participating in the Gossip Girl readathon that starts tomorrow, so I want to wrap this up. So I read Wayward Volume 1, String Theory, and I didn't rate this, but it is about a girl who moves from Scotland or something like that to Tokyo to live with her mom, and she like discovers that she has magical powers. I didn't rate it because I didn't like have super strong feelings about it. I might continue because the art was gorgeous and the actual like storyline seems pretty interesting. I then read Sparrowhawk. This is like not in the order I read it, by the way, which was a pretty interesting story. I don't know if it's like a continuation or like a series or whatever, but it's basically about this woman who lives with her stepmom. She's half black, and her dad stole her from her family, basically, or impregnated her mother, stole her, and then came back to her, like America or wherever she is, England, I think. And then she's like looking in the mirror in the beginning, and she like gets pulled into Wonderland, she gets pulled into fairy, and it's like dark as shit and like gruesome and everybody's bad, and she like has to kill things, and the more things she kills, the more cool she becomes. And it was pretty interesting. I actually ended up rating it. I give it 3 stars. It's probably more of a 4, but like it just kind of, I would have liked a little bit more from it, so I gave it 3, but if there is more to this, then I will continue. And then the last thing that I read the last thing that I have to talk about is The Ancient Magus Bride, probably pronouncing that wrong, Volume 1. This is a manga about a girl who is sold to like a wizard or an alchemist or something along those lines, and he has bought her to be his apprentice, but also like his bride. And this is kind of them meeting, her finding out about alchemy, and that she is like this powerful alchemist, wizard, what word am I looking for, Gotham person. And then, yeah, just the first volume. I didn't rate this one because, like I said, I don't usually rate the first volume in manga series unless I like super love it, and it was just kind of okay. It reminded me a little bit of like a more adulty version of The Girl from the Other Side, like the relationship dynamic, and like the guy that bought her reminds me of him. So I might continue that one as well. But that is going to be the end of the vlog. I was trying to read all of the ones that I could read to catch up to my Goodreads goal, but it's perfectly okay. I don't know how many I read, but I read the majority of them in one day. I just read the last 2 today. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts on any of the manga or graphic novels or comics that I read in this video. If you think I should continue any of this series because you've read them and you think they're good, let me know. Other than that, I will catch you guys in my next one, and thanks so much for watching.